is the truck Toyota project so far. We ground the frame down with a grinder and then a wire wheel. Took all the loose rust scale off the frame. Then we coated the entire frame with a rust remover. This leaves a zinc phosphate coating, turns the frame a little bit silverish gray, but stops all the rust. We cut out all the cancer and removed all the dirt from inside the frame. Use the shop vac to clean it. After that, we started the welding patches. Steel patches welded top and bottom. It's quite solid. Should make a great job. Okay, here's the new Hobart 210 MVP. It's a 115 and a 220 welder. It's got gas capability and flux core wire capability. It also has a special plug that you can use, depending where you're at. You can use the 110 voltage or the 220. It's just a screw-on adapter. It adapts at the same plug, the same wire, just two different plugs. And the machine itself, the welder, automatically knows what voltage it's running and it adjusts that itself. It's got a 10-foot lead both on the ground and on the MIG gun. And you can use a hand spool feed. So if you want to weld aluminum, it's easy. You just use the small rolls for the aluminum, and it's a 1, 2, 3 setup, easy and efficient. The reason we bought this welder was it priced at around $899, and it can weld, like I said, the 115 or the 220 voltage. It'll also weld up to 3/8 steel or as thin as 24 gauge steel, so it's versatile. And for our truck project, the frame, this welder will do nicely. This is a sheet of steel I bought. It's 1/8 steel. It's even a little bit thicker than what the frame is on the Toyota truck. It's perfect for restoring the frame. Here's some of the progress that we've made on the Toyota frame. We've got the rear portion primed with a Rust-Oleum primer. After zinc coating it with a rust inhibitor, here's another plate welded in. Another plate. And one of the biggest spots, or the most important spots that rot occurs, is next to the cross member just above the drive shaft. On the right side of this truck, it was rotted behind it, and it's rotted on both sides of that cross member. This is an area of the truck that could easily break right in half. So what I did was, instead of removing the cross member, I cut out a portion on the inside, and I'll run a plate right through, weld it to the top and the bottom of the frame, and then I'll gusset in this cross member once everything is finished. There's still a lot of rust scale that I have to deal with here. I'm going to be taking that, grinding that down. And then I'll use rust inhibitor on the inside of the frame. I'm digging out all of the loose dirt. It was coated with dirt. And I'll weld everything in solid, just like I've done here. It's almost a factory job. The important thing was removing the box. And then what we did was we removed all the bolts. Well, not all. We left the 2 front bolts in the cab. We took the 4 center bolts out. And we lifted the cab just enough so that I can work. I have it propped up with some wood. And that enables me to check the frame for any rust spots, clean it, prime it, use rust inhibitor, prime it, and paint it. And try to make the best job we can do with this frame. All in all, compared to some of the frames I've seen, this one is bad, but it's not that bad. There's the patch. 245s, one on each side over that cross member. And the frame plate goes straight behind it all the way through. Here's the finished frame. Toyota's coming along nicely. We replaced that center support. Just ran a new piece of pipe right through the frame, welded it in place. Put the muffler hangers back in place. Cut them off the old piece of pipe and put them on. Ran the new brake lines. Tomorrow we'll put the tank in. Hook up the fuel tank. Put the exhaust on. Finish painting the frame. Drop the cap back down because we raised the cab up so we could work on the frame. And we'll start putting this baby back together. Okay, we're almost finished with the Toyota frame. Got everything painted. The frame is looking really good. All the rust is gone. It's all been primed, painted. We've got the fuel tank in. We've got the exhaust in for the most part. We're waiting on studs. Truck's coming together. I'm gonna put the new body mounts in and drop the cab back down. Do a little work on the box, paint that, bolt it all up. Before you know it, this truck will be back on the road better than ever. Major problem with Toyota exhausts is the pipe, the exhaust pipe that goes from the header to the exhaust manifold. The bolts loosen up. In fact, these weren't even the right manifold bolts. I ordered the right manifold bolts and I made this locking plate. What this will do is go in place. It'll go, the bolt will go in, we'll have a lock nut, then the plate, and then another nut with a lock washer. And that'll keep the bolts, the studs, from backing out and losing connection with the gasket. There's two gaskets that go on here, and it'll keep the exhaust tight and leak free.